You can see the importance of having the blitzing cornerbacks on the opposite side of the running back, as the second the ball is handed off, there's nowhere to go inside, and these blitzing cornerbacks are basically meeting him at the handoff point for a loss. There's only two guys coming in, the nose and this guy who just runs right around the line for an easy sack. Look at that, two guys, two-man pressure. Because the coverage is absolutely insane. There's nothing open in this play. I'm sending two guys on the blitz, which means I have 9 guys dropping back into coverage. And on this play here, you can see that the flat is double covered, and he's just getting picked all day. If you guys are looking for fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins, check out my sponsor at MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT to get 5% off your order. Link in the description below. The champ is here! Welcome back, Money Team. This is Mad Money Shot, sniffing up the Madden cheese as always. That's right. The Eagles were in the Super Bowl this last week, and since I'm a huge Eagles fan, I had to break out the Madden and play some Madden. But this game is still extremely broken, so based on the fact that I typically like to use the Chiefs offense or defense, or the Raiders defense are probably my top 3 favorite playbooks. I try to choose them, but for whatever reason, there's an issue in the game, and it's been that way all year, that no matter what I do, I keep getting... I think I made a video about this early in the year where, for whatever reason, when I'd go into a game, I would get Arizona's playbook. But now, for whatever reason, it's still really broken, and no matter what I do, I get the Eagles playbook on offense and defense. So since I wanted to play the game, I just basically created an offense and defense out of both of these playbooks, and I plan on bringing you guys some gameplay of what I found later in the week. Now, when it comes to defense, there's only like 10 different defenses in the entire game, so they have a lot of duplications. It wasn't hard to find a defense, but I did mess around with the quarter normal, which is something that I also break down in my Kansas City Chiefs defensive playbook, my defensive ebook. And this particular formation here, I found a really good blitz that I'm going to show you guys today. But before I do, if you guys want to see more videos like this, as always, please make sure to be a subscriber, hit the like button, let me know in the comment section. And if you guys need more help and more money plays, like I said, I break down this particular defense in my Kansas City Chiefs defensive ebook. It's one of my favorite, going back a very long time. So if you guys need more help, you can download these or any of my ebooks instantly simply by clicking links in the description or the top pinned comment. Now, the play that I'm going to show you guys is actually probably like one of the first defenses that I ever put out. If you've been following my channel that long, my channel is 9 years old now. But one of the first plays that I put out a long time ago, probably back in like Madden 17 or 18 when I started this channel, was out of the quarter normal, and the play itself is the FZ3 Sky, which is still a really good play, because I have this theory that whenever EA makes a new game, or they want to, produce a new game years down the line, they take whatever engine they currently have and they try to basically build the new version for whatever, several years down the line. So whenever they were going to come out with these games for next-gen consoles, they probably took whatever they had and started building it from there. So that's why you see like this cyclical pattern while these plays keep coming back in and being good again. And I feel like that's why what's going on with the FZ3 Sky, because when I was using this blitz back in the day, they patched it to the point where it didn't work anymore. Well, it works again because, like I said, it probably just came back around. But before I pick this play, there are a couple adjustments that I want to make to my defense here. I definitely want to make sure that I don't have my best coverage safety in the blitzing spot. I typically want to move him back. I just want to put some speed here. I want to put, in this position, I'd probably put my best, fastest guy who's also a little on the tall side, because sometimes I'll actually use this guy. So when I use the Eagles, I put Keely Ringo here. And then on the outside spot, I'm also going to put my second fastest guy that I have available, which is going to be Isaiah Rodgers. So I got two really fast, because I think they're both like 94 speed or in that range. So I'm going to have those guys coming off the edge. It's obviously important. Then I want to put my actually good safety and coverage here in Gardner Johnson. On the other side, I have Blankenship, who is okay. He's not really the fastest, but he's okay. Then I got my outside cornerbacks good. Here I have an option. If I'm playing early in the game, I'll typically use her linebacker. If I don't know if my opponent's going to run or pass, I'll typically use her linebacker. But if I know my opponent has to pass, then I'll switch this guy out for my best cheap speed guy who's also tall, and that's TJ McCollum, who's going to be a little bit better jumping for footballs and stuff like that, because I told you guys about him last year. He has like the best change of direction out of any safety in the game. He's 6'3", he's like 90 plus speed. I mean, he's an absolute monster. So if, like I said, if I think that my opponent's going to, in a situation where he, like say he shows me he only really passes, then I'll put Tristan McCollum in, and I'll do that here for this video. Also, these defensive ends, they both pretty much drop into coverage a lot, so I really have a choice where if I want to put in linebackers, I can do that. So Zach Bond on one side would be a good option, and on the other side, I could put, Nakobe Dean if I want to. Once again, this is based off of what your opponent's doing. If it's early in the game and your opponent is running the ball, you might want to go the opposite direction and put defensive tackles at these spots, guys with high strength, like Milton Williams and, whatever defensive tackles you have. Like I think I could put... should have, I mean, they're going to look like they have low ratings because I'm playing them out of position, but just whoever you have that has like a high strength. If it's late in the game or all they're doing is passing, then switch it out and put these guys linebackers. But, you know, it's really based off of what your opponent's doing. It's a highly adjustable defense based off of what your opponent's doing. But I'm going to go full pass defense here because I'm not really worried about the results. I'm just going to show you guys the setup. I have gameplay of this coming out probably in 2 days. Tomorrow I'm going to show you guys an offense that I cooked up, and then I'm also going to show you guys gameplays on probably Thursday and Friday. That's the plan. When it goes to my coaching adjustments as well, if you guys can't tell, I'm a little under the weather, but if you guys look at when it goes to the coaching adjustments, the only thing I'm really going to change is I like to leave, it's a matching coverage. I like to leave it in matching coverage. I've been pretty consistent about that, but I've been mostly playing college, and I noticed that matching coverage is not as good in Madden 25, but it is still preferential to me because it depends on what my opponent's doing, and I'll go over this more in gameplay because I adjust this based off of what my opponent does in the game. But typically I will stick with the matching coverage, but if they show me that they know how to beat matching coverage, like I start seeing a bunch of wheel routes, which is typically the key to beating match coverage, then I'll change my flats to 5, and I'll change my curl flats to 25 or 20. That's typically going to be the area that I play around in based off of what type of corner routes they start running and stuff like that. Because the one thing I noticed about Madden 25 that's way different than college football 25 is when the corner routes, they just don't cover to the sideline at all. Doesn't matter what coverage you're in. In that scenario, I'll show you guys another defense that I use in the gameplay on Thursday, where there's a second defense that I use with this, but I'm not gonna spoil the surprise today. Today is just about showing you guys the setup. So like I said, if I can get away with matching coverage, I will, and in this particular instance, I will. But if, like I said, if my opponent starts showing me they can beat matching coverage, then I'll switch in and out with my faults or with my flats. So we'll go ahead and we'll pick the FZ3 Sky, and then we're gonna pick on offense. Just to show you guys how broken this is, by the way, I didn't choose playbooks. I just picked the Eagles and the Chiefs. And the Chiefs, for whatever reason, have the Eagles playbook. That's how broken this game is when it comes to simple shit like playbooks. So for the people that ask why I don't play Madden anymore, that's your answer. This is the most broken game I've ever seen. Like literally, this is the Eagles offense with the Chiefs. I'll go and I'll show it to you against like a bunch because this is probably meta. So I'm going to pick that. If it's like a bunch, you can see the quarterbacks are in closer. If it's a spread, they'll be out a little bit further, but they'll run around the tackles that much better anyway. So it really doesn't matter. But as far as the base setup, all I got to do is pinch defensive line, which is D-pad to the left and down. And you can see how that's going to help you with run defense up the middle. As far as run defense goes, it's a good run defense against things like this. Looks like this, because if you have the blitzing cornerbacks opposite the running back, if they do hand like an inside zone or something like that, they're running right into the blitz. So it does have its instances where it's a good run defense. What I was saying was if your opponent comes out under center, then they can run in the opposite direction of the blitz and you don't have much control over that. Then you're in a scenario where it's not really the best run defense. But against shotgun, which is really what this defense is designed to be, it's a very good run defense. So that's pretty much the look. I'm just going to pinch defensive line, and then I'm going to hit the D-pad to the left twice. I'm going to put the X and A defensive ends into flats, into hard flats. Give me a double Mabel concept on both sides. I don't have to worry about pressure. I'm only sending 3 guys here, but these outside guys will get the pressure. And if I'm being honest with you, a lot of times I only send 2. A lot of times if my opponent's really passing heavy and they're spreading me out, I'll use this guy and just bring him over the middle, and I'll use it, and that's all I'm going to send. And that outside cornerback will still get a lot of pressure, which you'll see in the gameplays, like I'm telling you. So for now, I'll just leave him down there. But like I said, this is like the first version of the setup. If I think my opponent is going to pass, I'll just hover this guy. I'll just hover right over the center just to pull as much as I can. And I can also sometimes, if it's like 3rd and long, I'll spread this defense. If I know they're not going to run, I'll shift the defensive line to the left away so I can get even more attention away from those blitzing corners. So this is pretty much the setup here. Like I said, if my opponent really spreads me out, a lot of times this 3-rec hook linebacker will be out on, he'll start to play like out here because the spread's that way. So if that happens, then I'll typically use this corner and I'll still get pressure. But on this first play, we're just going to run it like this. Although I might have messed it up because I moved everybody around. But we'll run it a few times. Like I said, I'm not too concerned with the results, because like I said, you'll see the results when I do the actual gameplay in a couple of days. As you can see here, we get a little bit of a shift from the running back. It's obviously going to be a pass play. So if I see an obvious pass play, I'll guess pass at the last second. And then you can see how we get good coverage, because that was Zach Bond. That was my best coverage linebacker in a hard flat, and he just took care of that. So like I said, that's pretty much the setup. We'll go ahead and we'll do the full setup. I'll try to run a few blitzes here just to show you guys how this actually works. This would be the look right here, what I would typically do, like in a base setup. And you can see we got an actual run play to the opposite side. That was a counter run. That's one of the few scenarios where you might see some success, because that's how you have to run. You can't run to the blitz. Hopefully we'll get some actual inside zones and stuff like that, and you'll see how the blitz works. But I'm going to start back here. If you expect a run play, don't hover the nose tackle. Start back here. This will give you more opportunity to shoot gaps. As we see, like I said, he goes out, so I'm going to guess pass. But the second you, if you have something like this, you can see here, that was double cut. I don't know how I caught that. There's 3 guys there. That's what I'm saying. Like, he might have caught that fine. But my whole point is, you can see the coverage is there. There's not a lot of openings here. Spoiler alert, the one gameplay I'm going to put out about this, I got to shut out the guy that didn't score a single point. And that's typically how it's going to be. So like I said, I'm not hovering the gap like I need to be. Flats are still kind of questionable. You see right there, he only got a couple yards. You know what I mean? Like, flats are not necessarily, once again, if I expect my opponent to pass, then don't pinch the defensive line. Like right here, this is a good look right here, because they're not going to have as much distance to cover to get out into the flat. So these are all things that are optional. I'm just talking about, like, when I do my game plays, I typically run them that was probably the best completion you're gonna get, because I was flooded in the middle there. I had 2 options I had to choose. But typically in my game plays, I run the same defense all game, just to show you guys how it works, because I want to highlight a defense. And this is how I run it with the pinch. But you can often do your shifts and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do the other way. Like I was saying, I'm gonna try to get pressure without having this cornerback on the blitz, and then I would have something like this. Once again, I would definitely still hover him over the center, and I'll guess pass, even though I have no idea what we're going to see here. I might have to back out and choose a pass play. You can see how that cornerback just comes running around, and that was the 2-man version. So we're going to watch the replay here just to see what happened. But that was the actual, that version worked better, which, like I said, I can't help but notice I'm typically doing that version more. As you can see here, we're only sending 2 guys on this play. There's only 2 guys coming in, the nose and this guy who just runs right around the line for an easy sack. Look at that, 2 guys, 2-man pressure. That's how crazy this game is. I almost feel like it's better that way. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to do that again. Like I said, I'm shifting away. And then, like I said, I can put this guy wherever I want. I can put him out here just to, because he's gonna match somebody anyway. I mean, I might want to keep him towards the center because the 3 receivers on the other side, but I'm just showing how I'm gonna be on that side anyway. And you can see, boom, right around once again, 2-man blitz, very easy pressure. And like I said, I can't help but notice I'm getting more sacks when I use a Ringo, and it's because of the spread. So let's go ahead and let's back out, because I just want to pick an actual run play. I'm not getting any inside zones yet, so I want to pick an inside zone just to show you guys what it looks like, because that is an important part of this run defense. Let's go and let's pick that. We'll continue. We'll just pick it from. We're gonna pick the tray open inside zone. Just something kind of simple. 3 wide trips to one side. Like I said, all you have to do for run defense is just always make sure that your blitzing cornerbacks are opposite the running back, because 9 times out of 10 is going to be an inside zone, even though we didn't get that yet. And then if you pinch the defensive line, like I said, you can see here, there's no opportunity to run up the middle. If I really want to go full 9, I could also slant inside, but I don't find it's really that necessary. But we'll do that here just to make sure that there's no opportunity inside. He's going to have to stretch it, and that means he's going to run right into the cornerbacks. And like I said, my job as a run defender, if I think it's a run, is just stand back here. And you can see, number 1, the first blitzing cornerback just takes him out. So that's pretty much going to be the consistency. It's not going to work if you're blitzing him off the wrong side. Like, this is not, you know, if you're not paying attention and you're getting this look here, you'll see how now he can just run around to the outside, and it's going to be on me to basically stop the play, because there's no blitzing cornerbacks there. It gets 5, 6, 7, 8 yards. So as long as you're remembering every single play, make sure, because it's going to help with the blitz too. You know what I mean? If this is a pass play, even though I know it's not, the running back is not going to be able to rotate over to help out with these blitzing cornerbacks as fast. They don't have as good a recognition to see the blitzing cornerbacks all the way on the other side of the field. They typically stay on one side. So if you make sure to always have these cornerbacks blitzing off of that side, number 1, that takes care of the run defense all by itself. And I also don't really have to worry about the running back when it comes to blitz pickup as well. We could go empty backfield. We could go spread look. It really doesn't matter, but let's go ahead and let's pick let's pick like empty. Let's pick the empty base. Let's go random here. And like I said, once again, in a look like this, I mean, you can, quarterbacks can always run, sure. But a look like this, I don't have to pinch or do any of that stuff. I just can leave them out there on flats. And like I said, just come over the middle here, make them think. I can spread away. You know what I mean? Just try to make them, make this offensive line, not look at that cornerback as much as possible. Let's get them coming over here as much as possible, because the whole idea is that guy typically can run around. Although there he picked him up, and we get a pick because, like I said, the coverage is just amazing. Like I said, you're double Mabled everywhere. So you can see how this play works. I'm not going to go too long into this because the coverage is absolutely insane. There's nothing open in this play. I'm sending 2 guys on the blitz, which means I have 9 guys dropping back into coverage. And on this play here, you can see that the flat is double covered, and he's just getting picked all day. So like I said, this is just a taste because I plan on putting out gameplay in about 2 days. I'm probably gonna do another practice mode video tomorrow because, like I said, I'm under the weather anyway. And I'll show you guys some gameplay of me just absolutely cooking people online with this because, like I said, I just kind of found this because I was forced to. You know what I mean? Like I said, I do a lot of work in this on my Kansas City Chiefs defensive ebook, but I was in a situation where I wanted to find a new defense, and this is the one I settled on, and it's absolutely lights out. So give it a try. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Other than that, I'll have some gameplay from some other Madden stuff popping up that I recently put out as well. So if you guys want to see more defenses, just click the links. And until next time, thanks for watching, man. My shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.